Hey my lovelies, it's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this Wednesday's Facebook card reveals for you all. So, if you were drawn to card number 1, we're going into the energy of talent. I really like this card. Now, I sort of see this in two ways. I think maybe some of us have been really working and really trying to perfect our talents, our giftings, our skills, and maybe that in itself has been a little bit testing or has been a little bit challenging for you. And I sort of feel as I look into this card, don't give up on something that you're really good at. It might challenge you, it might test you, it might sometimes get the better of you temporarily, but keep at it, because sometimes those things that do challenge us offer us the most rewards as well. And it might be, as you're sort of looking at this card, that some of you are maybe wanting to learn a new skill or wanting to learn a new talent, whether it maybe be some form of like spiritual divination, could be tarot, could be healing, could be mediumship, or witchcraft, or herbalism, or alchemy. And it could be something more practical. It could be like learning a new skill, perhaps playing an instrument. It could be maybe wanting to sort of join a singing group or a choir. It may be wanting to sort of learn how to do some sort of sporting activity. Talents can show up in so many weird and wonderful ways. It could be something creative, whether it be art, sculpture, whatever. But if you're sort of feeling like you don't have any talents at the moment, I really feel like that's not true. That's not the case. It's just perhaps the talents have yet to be discovered. But, and I think that they will become discovered if you give yourself permission to receive those things. So I see this sort of card in two ways. It could be that some of you are being very disciplined and sort of having to continue with stuff to sort of get it to the best sort of that you can get it to and everything else. And maybe some of you are wanting to access and learn what your skills are, learn what your talents are. But I honestly feel that we all have giftings and they're all very unique to us. And don't be scared to sort of turn your hand to what your talent is. Also, as I hold this card as well, don't be sort of scared to go back into things that maybe didn't quite work out before, or things that maybe you're good at but you haven't had the opportunity to do them for a little while. So one of the things that I definitely want to do when I move house, and I say when I move house, eventually we're going to be buying our own place. So this is why this home, lovely as it is, it's a temporary thing. And eventually I am going to be buying my own house in the next year or so. And when I've got my own place, I really want to get a piano, because I used to play a piano, I used to play keyboard and piano as a kid. And I was never good enough to do something professionally, but it's something I really want to get back into, but I don't have the space in this current house. But when I know I've got my forever place, or somewhere that we're going to put down some roots to, I want to be able to have a piano, not for anything other than being able to sort of tinker on it now and again and have a little go on it when I want to just get lost in something, So sometimes talent can also take us into a bit of our own escapism. And for me, it's something that doesn't have to be pressured. I'm not doing it to create an income or a living from it. It's just something I want to do for me, because I was always I always enjoyed it as a kid and I was always quite good, but I picked up some bad habits. So I used to sort of with the piano lessons, I used to cross my hands over, being dyslexic as well. It's a common thing for people that are dyslexic, and I want to sort of relearn it properly in today's time, kind of thing, just for me more than anything else. But yeah, so whatever your talents are, whatever your things are, they can manifest, they can happen. So I think it's a celebration of what you are doing, what you are dedicating your efforts in. And it's like, nothing is easy in this world. People say to me, oh, you're so talented with your mediumship. I've had to work bloody hard at my mediumship. I might make it look easy, but that doesn't mean that it is, And I think it's really important to just enjoy this, whatever it is for you. So I hope that makes a bit of sense. Now then, as we're moving into card number 2, we're going into the energy of life purpose. This is coming up loads for people in private one-to-one readings. What are they here for? What are you here to discover? What is your life purpose? And some people know that. And I think for those that are on that journey and are knowing that and are sort of living that life cycle, that's amazing. And maybe this is just a confirmation card for you guys. If you're in that stage where you really know what your life purpose is, then keep doing it, keep going after it, keep having those adventures and those experiences. But a lot of people that I'm talking to in readings are feeling very disconnected from what this is for them. And I think it's causing quite a lot of anxiety, quite a lot of confusion. It's making people feel quite kind of powerless in a way. And we all have a life purpose, and it can be very different from each other. Some people are in this world to really succeed in a very sort of full-on public setting, so it seems very sort of public to the outside world. Other people are showing up and completing their life purpose in a very quiet, very silent way. But every purpose matters. You know, a lot of people that I'm talking to in readings, particularly people that have been through deep, heavy sort of trauma battles, they've come back to reascend in this stage of life now to perhaps find their voice, to find their power. So it's not necessarily about achieving loads of external things. It's not necessarily having to have the big house, the fancy car, you know, the £1 million job. It's not necessarily about that stuff. Maybe like the reason for coming back and having this life cycle was to find one's power and to not be victimized or villainized from situations. And a lot of people I'm talking to in readings, that's what's coming to the surface. They've come back into this lifetime or this world to say, enough. I'm not going to carry this sort of cycle or this story onto the next generation. I'm not going to take this as my way of being anymore. And I've seen it loads with clients, you know, where they've had to really detach from their family members or friends or abusive partners, and maybe they've never done that in a lifetime before, and maybe that's what this life purpose has been about, finding the bravery to fully show up, to fully invest in themselves, and to say, enough, this is not good enough in this lifetime, you know. So life purpose isn't always something big and dramatic, and I think that's the thing. People sometimes almost spoil what they've created, or spoil what they've got, or almost like water it down or devalue what actually is being created, because they feel it should maybe be something so much more bigger or so much more grander. And in some cases, maybe, but also I think it's giving thanks and it's looking at the realization of what actually does exist in your life, you know. But if you're tapping into your life purpose, really go in and have that soul searching energy of what it is. And if you're somebody that is got that and you're sort of living by that and you're just kind of vibing in that, keep enjoying it and keep understanding it for as long as you have access to it, I suppose, really. So I sort of feel that with this card, I see it as being very real, very authentic, and very unapologetic in what your life purpose is. Because again, it might not be what other people would want you to be doing, but you know on a soul level what actually you need to do for your soul. And if it is going against what other people would want or what other people feel, you can go against the grain as long as you know it serves and benefits you. I think it's about showing up for you in the first instance here. And finally, as we're moving into card number 3, we're going into the card of protection. Now, this is quite interesting because I don't necessarily sort of feel like we have to have big shields up and, you know, protect from all these outside energies and influences. Or maybe you are feeling that. Maybe you are sort of in a space where you're feeling a little bit vulnerable, and maybe you are having to protect a little bit more than you would usually do. So maybe you're not feeling completely secure in connections or energy around you. Maybe you feel like there's some people with potentially like hidden agenda or hidden motive, and just a need to sort of safeguard a little bit. So maybe we've got some of this going on. But I almost feel, as I like look at the card, with her sort of holding the energy of the world near her womb, it almost feels like kind of just protecting your world and not being too open with showing people what's going on or telling people what's going on. I almost feel like I see this as a bit of mystique and magic, and sort of playing some of the cards a little bit close to your chest, and sort of, you know, you can connect with great people and good people, but maybe not everybody needs to have access to your inner heart, to your inner world. It's like, for me, I will connect with many clients all around the world, you know, both in the UK and abroad via Zoom, and I give access to that energy when I'm with those clients. But my actual sacred home and my intimate family, that's something more for me. I don't really want, you know, people coming in and being part of that. I don't ever have anybody at my house. It's very, very rare that people come to my house. And it's not just because people are scared of Oscar. It's more so, I don't want people in my space because it's my kind of little piece of energy. So protection isn't necessarily having to ward off against anything dark or negative, although sometimes it can be that. So if you're up against something where there's injustice or there's nasty agenda at play, then maybe you fall into this, and obviously then having to protect in those ways. But I see it more so as just protect your in-heart sanctum, protect your in-heart kind of essence of what you're creating, and it being something personally for you. And if you want to share it with other people, that's great, that's fabulous, but knowing you don't necessarily need to, it can be just your little thing. So I don't see this as like a negative card. And sometimes when people sort of see protection, instantly they feel, oh God, there could be something bad or sinister or dark. And I'm not necessarily feeling that with this. Does that make sense? I really hope so. Now then, what do I need to let you guys know about? A couple of shouts. So the main one, this coming Saturday, I am over in Carpe Nocem in Frome doing a sold out day of private one-to-one readings. So thank you very much if you've secured to see your space there. It's going to be a great day. And then this coming Monday, Monday the 29th, I am doing a cheeky free live on my Instagram page. I haven't done one for a little while because I've been inundated with work, but I found some time in my diary. I just want to give back a little bit, you know. I've got this real feeling for me at the moment of in a cycle of giving back. Maybe because we're sort of in the autumn equinox and it's a great time to sort of stop and celebrate everything that's been achieved and everything else. And it is about giving thanks back. So Monday night, if you're free, if you're stuck for something to do, 7:30 until 9 o'clock, come and find me on Instagram and get involved and yeah, join my live. Make sure that you're liking the page before the live starts, because once I go in, I won't be able to accept people. And if you're not following me on Instagram, where have you been? Because I put quite a lot of different content on there that isn't necessarily on my Facebook or YouTube channel. The last thing I want to sort of say, the most important thing coming up, I think, for the next kind of couple of weeks, Sunday, the 5th of October, we have my revised new Witches Market and Psychic Fair, which is very exciting. So this is a free entry event. It's happening from 11 o'clock until 4:30. It's over at the White Horse View in Westbury. Massive car park, massive sort of space for parking. Going to be some fabulous readers, some old favourites and a couple of newbies. If you've got one of these kind of QR codes, you can click that and then it will bring up the Facebook page. Pop yourself as interested or pop yourself as going. Do share it with other people that might want to come along. And there's a list of all the readers, all the therapists, all the stall holders. And why not book yourself in for a session, a treatment, a reading, and come along, be part of the magic. There's also a restaurant that's going to be full of some fabulous food. Being that it's a Sunday, they will be doing Sunday roasts. Oh, I'm going to have a bit of torture with that because I'll be smelling it probably. I might have to pre-book a cheeky roast dinner lunch, I'm feeling. But yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be good. So come along, get involved. It's going to be a fabulous day. So I will leave it with you guys. I hope this week's cards make a bit of sense. Keep shining bright. Lots of love. And I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Bye for now.